Coming up on the channel today, I'm going to share one of the many live bootlegs that I've acquired over time. This one is for one of my favorite bands and a concert I was at. Going to talk to you about a Guns N' Roses live bootleg coming right up. Hey, it's Russ from the Infectious Groove podcast and vinyl channel, and if you're a longtime listener of the podcast or viewer of the channel, you know I featured more than a few Guns N' Roses LPs. I haven't really broken into any of the bootlegs or live stuff that I've acquired over the years, so I figured this particular one would be a great place to start. If this is your first time on the channel, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button because that helps us grow. Also, the like button helps us grow a lot, but for me personally, what matters more than anything is the interaction. I love comments. So by all means, drop a comment on anything to do with the record that I'm going to feature today, and I'll be more than happy to engage and answer questions or entertain comments and so on and so forth. So as far as today's video goes, I'm going to go into a bootleg called Guns N' Roses Sin City Return. I don't think this is part of the official title, but T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada, April 9th, 2016. This was the third time, if not fourth, Guns N' Roses fans, please correct me if I'm wrong. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think fourth time that the quote-unquote reunited version of Guns N' Roses appeared on stage together since 1993. Before this, they had played a secret show at the Troubadour in Los Angeles, and then they played Coachella, and then they played the night before this at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. So as far as I'm aware, this is the fourth time that they had played together since they broke up with Slash and Duff leaving the band after their last performance together in 1993. Again, Guns N' Roses fans, I know you're all very informed. Please drop me comments if I'm wrong on any of that, but I think I have it right, which is not too bad for off the top of my head. But this particular live LP, I found it at a record store in Columbus, Ohio. I was just kind of looking through the records to see what they had, and I thought, whoa, that's pretty cool. I was at that show. And so I picked it up, and the audio on it is absolutely fantastic. It sounds almost like a live album quality. It's certainly not an audience recording by any stretch of the imagination. The LP itself is fantastic, in great condition. It doesn't look to be beat up, very suspect vinyl that you might find on a bootleg release. Very good sound quality, quiet pressing, no really pops, clicks, or anything along those lines. So I'm pleased with all of that. For me, this actual show was more than a bit of a whirlwind weekend. The night before this show, I was in Chicago. I had driven from Detroit to Chicago to see David Gilmour in concert at an arena in Chicago. And the next morning, I got up and flew from Chicago to Las Vegas, picked up a friend who at the time I had never met in person from Brazil, and we spent the day drinking and hanging out with all sorts of other GNR fans because the city was just electric with like a GNR vibe because they had taken over the big arena on the Strip 2 nights in a row. So we had just an awesome time all day hanging out with GNR fans, and a lot of fans had gone to the show the night before when I was at the David Gilmour show. So they told me how good it was going to be and how surprised they were. And so we went to the show and took it in, and we were just shocked. This was when Axl had broken his leg, so he was sitting in the throne that they borrowed from the Foo Fighters. But Axl still sounded top-notch, and every member of the band was on fire. And it's very well conveyed on this live record, in my opinion, live bootleg. The only real complaint that I have is the show itself was really long, and the set list was amazing for someone like me who loves all eras of GNR, or most eras of GNR. But they did things from Chinese Democracy, they did things from Appetite from Lies, they did tracks like Coma for the first time in forever and tore the hell out of it. So a lot of the show got left off of this set because it's a 1 LP set, and you would need probably 3 LPs, I think, to cover the entire show that they did that night. You can find the digital files of the entire show out there, so it's not that big of a deal, but for me it would have been cool to have the entire show that I was at on vinyl. But for the track listing, they did pick, I feel like, what casual Guns N' Roses fans would look at a set and say, oh, well, for sure, I want those songs. It's So Easy, Welcome to the Jungle, Live and Let Die, You Could Be Mine, Sweet Child of Mine, My Michelle, Layla, which they actually, it's funny on here, Layla was part of like a whole medley that they were doing together, and they just kind of included part of that medley on this live record, which is weird. But then Paradise City is on here, and like I say, there's huge songs that were left off of this 1 LP version. I would love to see if somebody wants to go back and use even the digital files to press the whole show, because it's such a great show overall. But like I do in these videos, I always just want to kind of share pressings that are special to me, or odd or rare for whatever reason. And for this, for me, it was cool to just find it randomly out in the wild. It was awesome that I was at the show, that the quality of the sound is so great. The quality of the vinyl is surprisingly great. Really, my only complaint on the whole thing is I wish that the whole show was on there. At least the double LP to get the majority of the show on there would have been cool. But that's the latest record that I wanted to share with y'all. As I said at the top of the video, the comments matter more to me than anything on these videos. So if you have opinions on Guns N' Roses, good, bad, or different, leave them in the comments below. GNR fans, correct me if I was wrong in anything I said along the way in this video, please. Or if you have questions on this show or Bootleg live pressings in general, by all means, leave me a comment. More than happy to listen to everything you have to say and interact as much as possible. Drop a like on the video if you like what you saw, because that helps the channel grow. And as I always say, thank you so much for watching.